I'm Irina and I'm Phoebe.
I'm Brianna and I'm Kelvin.
I'm Taylor and I'm Lewis.
I'm Mallory. I'm Miss Lewis.
Jules.
Or Jules.
I'm Brandon and I'm Joe.
We're going to tell you about three of the children in Mrs. Jules' class on the 30th story of Wayside School.
There's supposed to be only one story high with 30 classrooms all on their own. Instead, it is 30 stories high with one classroom in each story.
The builder said he was very sorry. Our first story is about Joe. One day, Mrs. Jules kept him in from recess.
Joe, you are going to have to learn to count.
Well, Miss Jules, I already know how to count. Let me go to recess.
First, count to 10.
Joe counted to 10.
6, 8, 12, 1, 5, 2, 7, 11, 3, 10.
No, Joe, that is wrong.
No, it isn't. I counted till I got to 10.
But you were wrong. I'll prove it to you.
She put down 5 pencils.
Joe
How many pencils do we have here, Joe?
counted the pencils.
4, 6, 1, 9, 5. There are 5 pencils, Miss Jules.
That's wrong.
How many pencils are there?
5.
That's what I said. May I go to recess now?
No, you got the right answer, but you counted the wrong way. You were just lucky.
She set down 8 potatoes.
Phone's ringing.
How many potatoes, Joe?
Joe counted the potatoes.
7, 5, 3, 1, 2, 4, 6, 8. There are 8 potatoes, Miss Jules.
No, there are 8.
But that's what I said. May I go to recess now?
No, you got the right answer, but you counted the wrong way again.
She put down 3 books.
I didn't.
Count the books, Joe.
Joe counted the books.
1,000,000, 1,000, 3, 3, Miss Jules.
Correct.
May I go to recess now?
No.
May I have a potato?
No. Listen to me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now you say it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Very good.
She put down 6 erasers.
Now count the erasers, Joe, just the way I showed you.
Joe counted the erasers.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10, Miss Jules.
No.
Didn't I count right?
Yes, you counted right, but you got the wrong answer.
This doesn't make any sense. When I count the wrong way, I get the right answer. And when I count right, I get the wrong answer.
Oh.
Miss Jules hit her head against the wall 5 times.
How many times did I hit my head against the wall, Joe?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You hit your head against the wall 10 times.
No.
4, 6, 1, 9, 5. You hit your head 5 times.
Mrs. Jules shook her head no and said,
Yes, that is right.
just then the bell rang.
Oh, darn.
Said Joe.
I was recess.
Our next story is about Phoebe. Phoebe was the fastest drawer in Mrs. Jules' class. She could draw a cat in less than 45 seconds, a dog in less than 30, and a flower in less than 8 seconds.
But of course, Phoebe never drew just one dog, or one cat, or one flower. Art was from 12:30 to 1:30, while in that time she could draw 50 cats, 100 flowers, 20 dogs, and several eggs and watermelons.
You see, it took her the same time to draw a watermelon as an egg. Calvin sat next to Phoebe. He didn't think he was very good at art. It took him the whole hour just to draw one airplane.
So instead, he just helped Phoebe. He was Phoebe's assistant. As soon as Phoebe was finished with one masterpiece, Calvin would take it from her and set down a clean sheet of paper. Whenever she ran low on a crayon, Calvin was ready with a new one.
That way, Phoebe didn't have to waste any time, and in return, Phoebe would draw 5 or 6 airplanes for Calvin. It was 12:30, time for art.
Phoebe was ready. On her desk was a sheet of yellow construction paper. In her hand was a green colour. Calvin was ready. He held a stack of papers and a box of crayons.
Ready, Phoebe?
Ready, Calvin?
All right, class.
Said Mrs. Jules.
Time for art.
She had hardly finished her sentence when Phoebe had drawn the picture of a leaf.
Calvin took it from her and put down another piece of paper.
Red.
gave her a blue crayon. They were quite a pair, and their teamwork was remarkable.
Bibi drew pictures as fast as Kelvin could pick up wallpaper and stick on it. A fish.
An apple. 3 cherries.
Bing,
Bing, bing, bing. At 1:30, Mrs. Jules announced.
Okay, class, art is over.
Bibi dropped her crayon and fell over on her desk. Kelvin sat and leaned back in his chair. He could hardly move.
They had broken their old record. Bibi had drawn 378 pictures. They lay in a pile on Calvin's desk. Mrs. Jules walked by.
Calvin, did you draw all these pictures?
No, Bibi drew them all.
Well then, what did you draw?
I didn't draw anything.
Why not? Don't you like art?
I love art. That's why I didn't draw anything.
I don't understand.
It would have taken me a whole period just to draw one picture, and Bibi would have been able to draw 100 pictures. But the two of us working together, she was able to draw 378 pictures. That's a lot more art.
Bibi and Kelvin shook hands.
No, that isn't how you measure art. It's not how many pictures you have, but how good the pictures are. Like a person could spend their whole life drawing just one picture of a cat. In that time, I'm sure Bibi could draw 1 million cats.
2 million.
But if that one picture is better than each of Bibi's 2 million, then that person has produced more art than Bibi.
Bibi looked like she was going to cry. She picked up all the pictures from Calvin's desk and threw them in the garbage.
Then she ran from the room, down all the stairs, and out onto the playground. Louis, the nice art teacher, spotted her.
Where are you going, Bibi? I'm going home to draw a picture of a cat.
Will you bring it to school tomorrow and show me?
Tomorrow? By tomorrow, I doubt I'll be finished with even one whisker.
Our final story is about Calvin. One day, Miss Jules said,
Calvin, I want you to take this note to Miss Arvez for me.
Miss Arvez?
Yes, Miss Arvez. You know where she is, don't you?
Yeah, she's on the 19th story.
That's right, Calvin. Take it to her.
Calvin didn't move.
Well, what are you waiting for?
She's on the 19th story.
Yes, we've already established that fact.
The 19th
Yes,
story.
Calvin, the 19th story. Now take it to her before I lose my patience.
But Miss Jules.
Now, Calvin.
Yes, ma'am.
Calvin walked out of the classroom and stood outside the door.
he didn't know where to go. As you know, when the builder built Wayside School, he accidentally built it sideways, but he also forgot to build the 19th story.
He built the 18th and the 20th, but no 19th. There was also no Miss Arvez.
Miss Arvez taught the class on the 19th story. Since there was no 19th story, there was no Miss Arvez. And besides that, as if Calvin didn't have enough problems, there was no note.
Mrs. Jules had never even given Calvin the note.
Boy, this is just great. I'm supposed to take a note that I don't have to a teacher who doesn't exist who teaches on a story that was never built.
He didn't know what to do.
He walked down to the 18th story, then back up to the 20th.
Then back down to the 18th, and back up again to the 20th.
There was no 19th story. There had never been a 19th story.
There would never be a 19th story. Calvin walked down to the administration office on the first story. He decided to put the note in Miss Arvez's mailbox.
But there wasn't one of those either. That didn't bother Kelvin too much, though, since he didn't have a note. He looked out the window and saw Louis, the art teacher, shooting baskets.
Where?
Louis will know what to do.
Calvin went outside.
Hey, Louis.
Hey, Calvin, you want to play a game?
I don't have time. I keep delivering up to Miss Arvez up on the 19th story.
Then what are you doing all the way down here?
There's no 19th story.
Then where is Miss Arvez?
There is no Miss Arvez.
Then what are you going to do with the note?
There is no note.
I understand.
That's good because I sure don't.
It's very simple. You're not supposed to take no notes to no teacher. You already haven't done it.
Calvin still didn't understand.
I'll just have to tell Miss Jules that I couldn't deliver the note.
That's good. The truth is always the best. Besides, I don't think I understood what I said either.
Kelvin walked up the 30 flights of stairs to see Miss Jules' class.
Thank you very much, Calvin.
But
That was a very important note, and I'm glad I was able to count on you.
yes, but you see,
The note was very important. I told Miss Arvez not to meet me for lunch today.
don't worry,
Said Calvin.
she won't.
Now you know about Wayside School. Some people say these stories are strange and silly.
That is probably true. But when the children at Wayside School heard stories about us, they thought we were smart too.
And that's for sure.
Okay, clap for the group.
Can I videotape this?
Okay, we're gonna go see
Here, I'll do half and then you can do half. I don't know. I don't know how to stop.